What it do, vinyl community? Welcome to the Fluffy Records YouTube channel. My name is Brian, that's Brian, and it has been a while since I've showed some records, my recent pickups rather. I decided today I'm going to be doing that because annually I like to post on my birthday, and my birthday is coming up. By the time you watch this video, or that you clicked on it, the video should have gone up. This is recent pickups from August to September 2024. Hopefully you guys will enjoy this. Without further ado, let's get right into it. So I didn't know exactly how I wanted to show, because it's a stack of records that I've been picking up a ton of stuff recently, and or over the past months, I guess, August and September. So I was like, how do I want to show by label? Do I want to show by oldest to newest? I was like, you know what? Today I'm just gonna show it by how I picked them up. So this is from the earliest of the pickups to the more recent pickups that I've picked up. So before I show some records, I do want to show the latest record collector news that I picked up uh, by none other than Jim at Record Collector News. I always enjoy picking these up. They're free. If they have any of these at your local record stores, pick one up, because you always read, and you always like just find something informational on here. And of course you get the the uh the guide by the Boomer Scalper, aka Rob the Waxed. So pick one up if you haven't already. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Next up, I have another book that I picked up at Sibylline. This is a vintage, I want to say vintage. This is a old jazz magazine from the 70s, Canadian, called Coda. This is, wow, I didn't know about this honestly, and this, like, the material of this is so dang awesome. Like it's like a very thick paper. But anyways, from the 70s, I think they started in the 50s, I want to say, but they were publishing more, in the 60s and 70s, especially during the free jazz avant-garde. But I mean, they also include stuff like from early on. So I don't know if you guys can see that. It definitely doesn't look like free jazz and whatever else I said. But yeah, this is some cool stuff. And I just noticed this right now. Subscription right there. Anyways, I just wanted to pick this one up because of the guy right here, Carl Berger, um, jazz musician, vibraphonist, piano player in the free jazz realm. Awesome stuff. I mean, we lost him a few years back. Actually, I think we lost him last year, 2023. But yeah, I wanted to pick this one up because I was posting a video of jazz vibraphonist. So I'm gonna start off with some of the earlier pickups that I did back in August. I had not picked up a tone poet in so long, and finally I decided to pick this one up to include it in my jazz vibraphone video, which, if you have not watched, I highly recommend watching. You watched it, but that's up to you. Picked up this Bobby Hutcherson Medina, part of the LT series on Blue Note. This is one that was shelved and then released later in the, I think, 80s or 70s. I actually can't remember, but this was recorded in 69, recorded in 69 and released in the 80s. And it's not a gatefold, which I'm happy that it's not, because that way I don't have to, use more space, right? So I'm happy to pick this one up. This is the first tone poet that I picked up after some time of not picking up any tone poets. Let me know if you guys picked this one up as well. Another Bobby Hutcherson record that I decided to pick up, even though I have a quality audiophile reissue of. This was on the classic series. Decided to pick this one up, Bobby Hutcherson Happenings. I got this one at Amoeba. I also got this one at Amoeba uh, a few days after it was released, but I've been wanting a 33 of this. I have the 45. This is a released in 1966. This is the Music Matters from a few years back. But yeah, you got that gatefold for the Music Matters. This is on 45, but decided to pick a 33, and I got this one for cheap. They both sound great. I think I'm going to be sticking with 33, and I have already listed the 45 online, so you know, if it sells, it sells. If it doesn't, then it is what it is. Next up, I wanted this JMI record. I knew I had to have this one to be able to make the vibraphone video, and I'm very very happy how it sounds. I love the music, and this is a very young cat. I mean, she's in her 20s. I'm talking about Sasha Berliner and her album Onyx. This was recorded in 2021, but I believe released a year later. This is her first album on JMI, but I believe this isn't her actual first album. I think her debut album was maybe a few years before, 2019, I think. But wow, incredible stuff. Contemporary as it can get. I'm so happy with this. I hope that there's another release for Sasha Berliner on JMI, because this label knows what they're doing with their albums, the music, their recording. It's top notch and for a good price. I mean, I think I picked this one up for probably $30 or maybe under $30. So pick this one up, and it's in a quality jacket, which it's a gatefold, and it's in 33. So I highly highly recommend this one. Pick it up or stream it and then pick it up. Another cat, another young cat that plays vibes, and this time this is on Blue Note. This is New Blues by Joel Ross. Again, I've shown this in my vibraphone videos, but these are these are the pickups that I purchased during the months of August and September. This is a double disc. I decided to show side D here. Another great one. I mean, this is very, very soulful. I mean, I highly recommend these two young cats, and anyone who plays vibraphones today. Like, please leave some in the comments below, because I know I'm missing plenty of them that I've not mentioned, or So Joe Ross is another great addition to my collection. New Blues, which I believe was released this year. Last vibraphone that I've shown in on my YouTube and on Instagram, this is one that I was blown away. And the fact that this was recorded in the 50s, I'm talking about Terry Gibbs' Dream Band. Recorded in the 50s, but released in the 80s. Don't know what happened there, but Fantasy decided to release this. And for the longest time, I thought this was a later Terry Gibbs album. Turns out it was recorded in the 50s, probably I think 59. And it sounds incredible. I mean, it sounds like you're in the room with them. That's how good this sounds. And for a good price of $2.99, or not even $2.99, $1.99, equivalent to $2 plus tax, I knew I had to grab this. And highly, highly, highly recommend this one to anyone who wants more Terry Gibbs, or anyone who wants live jazz. This is one to get. Terry Gibbs' Dream Band from the 50s, released in the 80s. Incredible stuff. I've shown this one because I made a video about it. This is a record that's not even been released yet. I don't know what's going on with the pre-orders, but I think it should be out soon. I found a test pressing of this at Amoeba. This was Frank Sinatra's Sing and Dance with Frank Sinatra, the 2 LP, 45 RPM Impacts One Step. that Impact's Records is putting out. I compared this to the 33 and I said, truthfully, that there really isn't a difference in terms of the songs, in terms of the track listing, but you do hear a slight difference in the 45 than in the 33. I If anyone hasn't picked up the 33 and if you're going for the 45 option, go ahead. But honestly, I think I'm going to be letting this one go. I am happy with the 33. I just wanted to see if there was a huge difference between the 45 and the 33. And for $100, I was like, you know what? There's absolutely uh, no risk in buying this. So I purchased this out of Amoeba. And am I happy about it? Yeah, but I'm happy with the 33. And anyone who's getting the 45, hopefully you guys enjoy it. So that is the Sing and Dance for Frank Sinatra. I love Frank Sinatra, by the way. Another record at Amoeba that I picked up from the wall is this one, which admittedly I haven't spun, but I am aware of the session, or rather the live performances of this record, the musicians who play on here, and yeah, I'm talking about Roy Brooks. This is Understanding with Woody Shaw, Carlos Garnett, Harold Mayburn, and Cecil McBee. This is on that reel to reel audio. Well, not I wouldn't say audiophile, but reel to reel reissue label. And well, are they a reissue label? I think they're a label that puts out stuff that hasn't been put out, or at least I'm not aware of. That's been put out before, but this is a good one. I think you can find this one for a good price still. This is a 3 LP disc set, uh, live. Let's see, recorded in 1970. Again, I haven't spun this one because it's a 3 LP. But this is a record store day, as you can see right there. And the music on here is, I mean, I've streamed this one already, and it's great. I really enjoy it. I think a couple years later, you get sort of the same lineup, or either the same or very similar lineup that you have here. Roy Brooks, The Free Slave on Muse. I think that one's 1972. Also a great session and a very hard one to find a record in original format now these days. But yeah, mine is numbered 1617. And yeah, picked this one up at the at Amoeba. They always seem to have a copy of this. And yeah, I'm very happy to have this finally. Now it's just a matter of finding that damn Muse record by Roy Brooks, and as well as filling in the Roy Brooks discography that I'm missing in my collection. So let me put that, straightening the records. Okay, here is a record that unfortunately turned out to be a fail purchase because I should have looked at it better when I was at Amoeba. This is another Amoeba purchase. And anyways, I am talking about this record, and I was very happy to have found this and thought, man, I did it. I found it. What record am I talking about? I am talking about Son of Word Jazz. This is a late 50s, early 60s. I can't remember when this one was put out, but this is a sequel to this album right here, Word Jazz, which is a combination of spoken word with the addition of jazz that's included with the Fred Katz group, which Fred Katz is a awesome musician. He plays cello, and I've never had a copy of Son of Word Jazz, but when I found it at Amoeba for $10, I thought, man, what a steal. Unfortunately, when I brought it home, there was an area in the disc where it was skipping, and I was like, okay. So now I have this. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with it. I'm probably gonna find a better, cleaner disc and maybe Frankenstein it. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do. But anyways, the reason why I got this is because if you guys notice right here, this is my YouTube picture. This image exactly right here. I use this one for my YouTube, for my Instagram, and many people think it's this one right here, but it's actually this one, which I guess now that I look at it, it's pretty much the same. But yeah, let me know if you guys have Ken Nordine's Word Jazz, Son of Word Jazz. I think there's even another one after this one. But wonderful personnel right there. Fred Katz is an awesome player. He's been in a couple of the Pacific Jazz or World Pacific Jazz with like Chico Hamilton. But man, I enjoy these. I enjoy these albums. Like some people might not enjoy because some people don't like the spoken word stuff, but I do. I discovered this early on through collecting, and I've been enjoying it since. So let me show you guys this awesome record that I saw in a bin that I hardly ever look at, but now that I've found this record, I'm like, oh my gosh, I gotta start looking at this bin or at these bins more often, especially before the time of the season comes through, because then Amoeba and every other seller who owns Christmas albums will start raising their prices. So I found this in the Christmas bin. Um, this is a Cadet album, and this is, what is the name of this? The Magic of Christmas, the Soulful Strings. This actually rocks. I can't tell you how. This was honestly a blind buy for me, but because it's on Cadet and because I'm familiar with the releases that Cadet and Argo put out back in the day with Christmas related stuff, like Ramsey Lewis, who I think they put out two albums, Christmas albums for him, Kenny Burrell, and I'm probably missing a few others, but those are the ones that I can name at the top of my head. This came later on in the 60s. I think this was 1966 or 68. Can't remember actually. Does it say? I can't see. I can't see it, but it was around that time, right? And if you guys see who's featured on here, you have, actually it's not that one. It's in the back. Sorry. Okay. If you now see who's featured on here, you have Dorothy Ashby, who her stuff is very hard to find originals of, and I was like, holy smokes, I didn't know that, Dorothy Ashby was in a Cadet Argo Christmas related album. And actually, I think I've shown a record, not even a record, but it's a 7-inch a 7-inch of someone. I can't remember the guy's name. I think his first name is Bob. But Dorothy Ashby is on that 10-inch, or not 10-inch, 7-inch, and I think that was in the 50s, I want to say. But this is, years later. Okay, 1968 is when this one was put out or recorded, and let me tell you, the music on here is fantastic. These you get these standards, right? Christmas standard tunes, but it is their versions of these songs are incredible. I can't tell you, like, yes, the melody is there, but the way they continue to play on here is something else, and the sound on this, top notch, and it's on Cadet. This is a stereo version of it. I think they released this as a mono and a stereo, so I'm happy with the stereo. And of course, it's a Christmas album, so I spun this one once and I was very happy with it. And bam, Cadet. Okay, moving forward. Okay, so this is a record label that I want to get more of, more records on this label, and I'm very happy with this one. I mean, I only paid I think $10 or less, and this is it right here. $7.99. Jimmy Lyons Quintet. This is We Sneezawi. We Sneezawi. Interesting name. And this is on the Black Saint label. This is a interesting record because what I mean by that is because this was put out in the 80s, 84, but this looks and this sounds like a record that would be put out in the 60s. I don't know how to explain it, but this just seems like a 60s record. Um this is free jazz. This is this is free jazz. And the musicians on here, incredible. So you have Jimmy Lyons on alto sax, Raf Malik on trumpet, Karen Borsa on bassoon, William Parker on bass, Paul Murphy on drums. Karen is a monster on here. Her sound on bassoon. I mean, how many records back in the day did you get with a musician, let alone a woman musician playing bassoon? I mean, it it is one of those that I started to dig into more. Karen Borsa, not sure how to pronounce her last name, but her bassoon playing is awesome. And this record sounds incredible. I know I keep saying that, but these Black Saints, or at least the only one that I own right now, sounds so freaking good. This is one that I blind bought because I saw the price. I thought it was a good price, and I saw that it was on Black Saint, which I want to start collecting more of. And not only Black Saint, but I also want to collect more Soul Note and more ECMs and more, those labels. But Jimmy Lyons, I believe, has maybe another. I can't remember if it was more, but I know he has another one on Black Saint, and I think Karen Borsa is on there as well. Um, but yeah, her bassoon playing sounds very much. If you guys have never heard, or at least if you've never heard her playing, it sounds very much like a baritone sax sound. I mean, I guess that's how a bassoon sounds when you play it uh, harshly. I don't know. Let me know down in the comments if you guys know what I mean. Like bassoon, is very low register tone. I should know this because I went to a music school, but I can't remember if there was anyone that ever played the bassoon. Maybe I know there was Barry sax, and I know there was bass clarinet, but I don't think I'm trying to remember now if anyone ever played the bassoon in high school. But that would have been awesome if someone did. But yeah, this is awesome as well. Pick this one up, stream it, and let me know if you guys enjoy this one. Again, uh, free jazz, but I did have to pay for it. It's a old dad joke, I guess. This is Jimmy Smith. This is an upgrade bucket. This was super clean. Blue Note mono. I enjoy Jimmy Smith. I know not a lot of people are interested in organ, which I guess I understand, but when I found this, I knew I had to pick this one up because I knew I had a copy that was beat, and I want to start collecting more Jimmy Smith because I enjoy Jimmy Smith, but I honestly enjoy early Jimmy Smith and later Jimmy Smith, but I do want to start collecting the stuff he put out on Blue Note, which is a ton. But yeah, this is a trio session. Jimmy Smith on organ, Quentin Warren on guitar, and Donald Bailey on drums. Very interesting. So there's no bass. I guess Jimmy Smith does the bass part. Uh, anyways, yeah, Jimmy Smith. Let me know if you guys have Jimmy Smith, any Jimmy Smith records, and if you enjoy them or if you spin them as often as I should. spin them. This next one is not jazz, but this is one that I've been wanting because I remember discovering the music in high school, or at least one of the songs on this album in high school, and have been wanting a copy, but I've noticed that the copies online are damn expensive, and found a good. I found a promo of this at Amoeba for a good price. I think I only paid $30 for this one, and I'm talking about Sparks. Angst in My Pants by Sparks, the American duo, new wave. Just really, I enjoyed the music. I mean, the one song that I remember listening to over and over again back in the day was Sherlock Holmes, and that's a great one. And this is a great sounding record, and like I said, found this at Amoeba, and I was just in shock because I've been wanting a copy for some time now, and this is a this is one that's been harder to find these days. On Atlantic, I can't remember what year this one came out. Let's see here, 1982. As you can see right there, I have the 23 because I'm turning 23, or I've already turned 23 by the time that you see this video. Okay, speaking of another Amoeba purchase, this is one that I've also been wanting for some time now, but this is actually a recent release, and I also made a video on this one. So this is Dami and JD Beck, Not Tight. This is an album that came out in 2022, I want to say. Yeah, 2022, and this is their first album. This duo, Dami is from France, and JD Beck is uh all American boy. But yeah, these two are a wonderful duo. They're considered prodigies in today's world of music. And if you guys have seen my video that I did on this album and on them, I talked about the people that are featured on here, which is Thundercat, Mac DeMarco, Herbie Hancock, Snoop Dogg, Busta Rhymes, Anderson Paak. Who else am I missing? The guitar player, which I always forget his name. I've been streaming before this album even came out. I remember streaming their singles. If you don't have a copy or if you've never listened to this, I highly recommend it. Great stuff, great jazz contemporary with uh, fusion with electronic music and hip hop. Um, yeah, overall, this is in my opinion, for a modern release, this is up there like as a 10 out of 10. This is one that I always, whenever I listen to it, it's always one that I always have to listen from start to finish. Moving forward, these last few are records that I purchased on locally. I went to Sibylline not that long ago, by the time of this recording at least, and I went because I saw the one record that I've been wanting. Actually, one of the records that I've been wanting that I've put in my top 9 uh want list, or top 9 records that I'm looking for this year, and this is the only one that I'm going to show that I picked up. So before I do, let me show you guys some of the records that I picked up the same day. Starting off with this other JMI record that I've been wanting to purchase on their website, but I don't know why I ever did not pick this one up on their website, but I found this one locally, and yeah. Anyways, this is Antero Siervet or Sievert. I don't know how to pronounce his name. I apologize for butchering that so much. Oh my god. The underscore. This is JMI number 4. I don't know which one this one is, but this is piano based album, which you would think that it's only piano, but then later on you hear other instruments, and this recording is awesome. I am very impressed with all of the JMI records that I have in my collection. No disappointments whatsoever, and I always love these covers. I mean, they're always so, I don't know, just so you want to grab these records. And uh, I believe this one also had a 7-inch or a 10-inch. I can't remember. But anyways, this is one to listen to if you haven't. I highly recommend. I like what they do with their inner sleeves. They always like color code them with the album color jacket. It's interesting for to me at least. Anyways, yeah, pick that one up. I picked this one up. All these other ones, for the most part, are wall records from Zibelline. This was one of them. On Roost, Royal Roost, Sunny Side Up by Sunny Stitt. This record is one that I've seen online, but had never really streamed it. And when I saw this on the wall, actually, this was on the wall, but this was um, for a good price. So I'm a little confused on that. On Roost, this is a mono pressing. I think this was almost put out in 1958, no, 1960, probably early 60s, if from what I remember. But Sonny Stitt, who had, I think, already recorded on Roost prior to this. I know there's another record of his on Roost with it's sort of like a gray or black cover. I think that's the harder one to find. But this is another one that's well, actually, this one's not that hard to find. But I always like this cover. This is awesome. The music on here is straight hard bop, and it's good. I enjoy it. I don't think I would. Admittedly, I don't think I would enjoy everything that Sunny Stip put out, but for this one at least, or at least his early stuff, I enjoy. So happy to have this one. I've been wanting to grow my Roost collection more, so I'm happy to have this one. I still am missing that one Sunny Stitt record that I mentioned, but happy to have that one nonetheless. All right, so another wall record on Savoy. This is one that for from what I saw online, I forgot when I went there. I forgot that they had shown this one online, so I was surprised that it was still there. But this is Bill Dixon, Septet on Savoy. This is, I think, 60 something. I can't remember. Shoot, I can't remember the dates for these. I'm sorry, but my copy is probably the later 70s because this is on that maroon or oxblood uh, Savoy or Savoy label. But yeah, I've been wanting more Bill Dixon records in my collection. I don't think I have any. And he put out, I think, aside from this one, he also has one on Savoy with Archie Shepp. And everything else is probably hard to find. This is one that I'm happy that I've got for an okay price. But Bill Dixon is on here with a number of musicians. So you have Bill Dixon on trumpet, George Barrow on tenor sax. Let's see, Ken McIntyre on sax and oboe, Howard Johnson on tuba and baritone, Dave Eisenson and Hal Dodson on basses, Howard McRae on drums. Photo by Bert Costello. Interesting. Very interesting. This is more of that somewhat free jazz. It's interesting because it's a bigger group. So more larger group when it being free jazz. I don't know if that's for everyone, but I enjoy it. Although I will say sonically, not the best. I don't know how the original one compares to this one. This one didn't impress me sonically, so you know what? I'm still gonna keep this one because I've been wanting more Bill Dixon. Okay, last two. This record right here was a blind buy, but I'm happy that I purchased it because it is amazing. And this is from, let's see, when was this one put out? Probably in the 60s or 70s. Anyways, let me show you guys right here. I'm talking about Moon Music Universe Volume 1. This is some fire stuff. And I didn't know this was a live session. It turns out it is because at the end of every tune, you hear people clapping. Um, but yeah, pick this one up because of the lineup. You have Ingrid, Carl Berger, that's one of the big ones for me, Dave Holland, and friends. You have Carl Berger's daughters, Savia and Eva Berger, doing the vocals or the voices. I was like, holy smokes, what is this? But overall, I really dug this one. This is one from 1974. Okay, so mid 70s. I thought this was early not early, but later 60s. Turns out early to mid 70s. Um yeah, this is an interesting one, or at least for me it is, because I thought it was one disc. It turns out it was a double disc. The shop for some reason put the second disc in the inside, while the first disc was outside of the album jacket. But yeah, this is a awesome one, and it sounds incredible. I really liked how this one sounds. Very uh, free, avant-garde, uh, and the fact that this was live and it sounds good blows my mind because usually I'm or at least for me, I've had bad luck finding live records that are crap. But this one is not that at all. So you can find this one, the Peace Church concerts, for a good price, I hope. Um, but yeah, pick this one up if you can, or if you have a copy, let me know what you guys think of Moon Music Universe Volume 1. I don't think there was ever a volume 2. I think they just did volume 1 and that's it. But the last one, okay, the last record involves Carl Berger. This is this has been on my want list, my top 9 want list for 2024, and I thought, man, for the longest time during 2024 at least, I found copies online, but I wasn't sure if I should pick it up. Something told me I would find a copy at a local store. And when Sibling posted a picture of this, I was like, hopefully it's still there when I get there. Sure enough, it was, and I'm happy that I brought it home. So, what album am I talking about here? It is this one right here, Carl Berger. Actually, let's see the name of this album. This is Carl Berger. It has a name. I can't remember the name, which now I'm embarrassed because I know this record has a name. This is From Now On by Carl Berger. This is a late 60s album. I think this is around the time where he was recording with Don Cherry, which, like I said in previous videos, I discovered Carl Berger because he was in the Don Cherry group and he was in the Don Cherry's second Blue Note album, Symphony for Improvisers. And I just really enjoyed Carl Berger playing on that album that I started to sort of go on this rabbit hole of him, and this is why I this is why I got this magazine that I showed at the beginning of the video, sort of a full circle moment there. But yeah, happy to finally have this one, free jazz, and it features not only Carl Berger but another. I think this is a quartet. So yeah, this is Carl Berger on vibes, Carlos Ward on alto sax, Henry Grimes on bass, Edward Blackwell on drums. This is the last one in my collection, or at least this is the last recent pickup for me for this video. And I might as well show the disc here. Okay, bam, there it is. I really like these ESP labels that they did with. Sometimes they were always different, I guess. They weren't always the same, but I like that what they did with Carl Berger. They have his face on there. Um, I think my copy is a variation, but it's still an early copy of this. Um, I'm surprised how much this has gone up, but overall, this is a good one. I highly recommend streaming this one. Maybe you'll enjoy Carl Berger, maybe you'll enjoy Vibes, but if you are not into free jazz, not sure you'll enjoy this one. Anyways, that is it for today. If you guys stuck this far, I appreciate it as always. Let me know down in the comments if you guys have any of the records that I showed today. Let me know what you guys thought. And yeah, again, thank you guys so much for the support over the past few months, over the past few years of me recording, making videos. I appreciate it. Hope to see you guys in the next one. Take care.